Oh, here. I hear music playing. Today we're in Greenwich Village. I'm going to do a special tour of historic music spots in Greenwich Village. And these are music spots of all different genres, like folk music and jazz. So I'm going to check out all these different places, explain their significance. It'll be extra, extra good. Village Vanguard on 7th Avenue South near Perry Street was founded by Max Gordon in 1935, and it's regarded as the most famous jazz venue in all of the world. Over 100 Live at the Vanguard recordings have been made here.
Our favorite is Coltrane's Live at the Village Vanguard. It's not dinner time jazz, it's a really intense performance.
It's extra, extra good. Many great jazz artists got their start at the Vanguard, and many other famous musicians have performed here, including Sonny Rollins, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Thelonious Monk. The Village Vanguard is known for its pristine acoustics for both listening to music and for the live recordings. And it's in part due to its unique triangular shape. And you enter in right here, but then you go down the long, narrow staircase to the basement level. And the basement level space is triangular. And that's what leads to its great acoustics, because like the performer is like right at the tip of the triangle. So it like the music spreads out into the room. The Village Vanguard basement level space got its unique triangular shape because the city in 1914 was building the subway. You can hear the subway like rumbling right underneath here. And what they did is they demolished like entire blocks of buildings. And what they also did is some of the buildings stayed, but they sheared off the front corner of it. So it made like all these buildings that have this triangular space instead of it, being like a rectangle. So we thought that's pretty cool. The interior of the Village Vanguard is all original except for what's known as the Mingus light, which is caused because Charles Mingus jammed his bass into the ceiling and he made a hole, creating the Mingus light. Extra good. You can even see that the building is triangular in shape. It's like a big wedge of pizza. Well, great, because there's a pizza place next door. On West 10th Street by 7th Avenue South was established in 1994, and it became known in the 90s as like the hotbed to check out new talent in the jazz music world, especially for like bebop and hard bop, and yeah, it's a great place, and it's not super big. It holds it originally held like 50 people. I think it expanded to hold around 60 people, and of course now it's temporarily closed due to coronavirus, but we're excited to go check it out again once it reopens. Oh, here. I hear music playing. Small's Jazz Club is not to be confused with Small's Paradise in Harlem that was opened in like the 1920s and became really famous music venue that closed in the 1950s, but this is named after it. Duplex on Christopher Street by 7th Avenue South has been in business since 1950, and it's called Duplex because there's a piano bar on one level and a cabaret theater on the other level. And a lot of famous people performed here, including Joan Rivers, who got like her start here at the Duplex. And in fact, she performed here like for the 50th anniversary, and you know, she even wrote in her autobiography about, you know, good times performing here when she first started, like before anyone even knew who she was. Duplex is one of the few places in New York City that you can watch your bartender serve you a drink and belt out show tunes at the same time. Extra good. On Grove Street by 7th Avenue South. And Marie's Crisis dates back to the 1850s when it was a prostitute's den. By the 1890s it became a bar, and it was open even during Prohibition when it was just known as Marie's because the owner was Marie Dumont, who had a restaurant with piano music. And then the Crisis was added to the name for Marie's Crisis because of the crisis papers by Thomas Paine, who died in the building. They even have a plaque honoring Thomas Paine. And you can see Thomas Paine, born 1737 and died 1809 on this site. Marie's Crisis is Arthur's Tavern, which is in a historic building, and it's a live jazz and blues music venue. It's been in business since 1937. Arthur's Tavern has been called Home of the Bird because it's the last place that continuously hosted Charlie Parker and Roy Hargrove. It has no cover charge, and it's still, you know, when it was open before the coronavirus shutdown, you know, kept on hosting live jazz and blues, Dixieland music, and it's now owned by Danny Bensusan, who also owns a Blue Note, which is another legendary music venue that we're going to check out in a little while. Electric Lady Studios on West 8th Street by 6th Avenue. And this recording studio was built by Jimi Hendrix in 1970 and designed by John Sturrock, and it was specifically made for Jimi Hendrix, like as far as the way they did the acoustics and the lighting. And it was originally a nightclub. Jimi Hendrix bought it in 1968, but his team said, listen, don't open it as a music venue, open it as a recording studio, because at the time he was like always looking for recording studios, and it cost a real lot of money to record, so they thought it would be great for him to have his own, and then he can make it to his specifications. And although he only recorded for like 10 weeks here before his death, he made great recordings, but a lot of other famous musicians have recorded here. So this is one of the definitely only artist recording studios that was owned by an artist at the time in 1970. in front of the former home of Cornelia Street Cafe, which was on Cornelia Street, right between, right by Bleecker Street. And it opened in 1977, and it became famous because it was the home of like the Monday night songwriters workshops. So what would happen was a songwriter would come in and they would perform their song. It had to be like a new song or at least a heavily worked upon song. They'd perform it, and then the audience would critique it, and then they'd go like take that feedback and they'd go back and work on their song, and then they'd come back the next week and they would like hopefully perform it again in its new state, like their finalized state. And that's how like Carolyn Moss, who was a singer and songwriter and a waitress, is the one who started doing that, you know, in 1977. And Suzanne Vega was one of the people who kind of like became famous, and she used that Monday night, you know, songwriters workshop to like perfect her craft. Also, Lady Gaga waitressed here. Sadly, and this is why we're highlighting it, even though it's no longer in business, it was forced to close in 2018 because the rent was increased like an astronomical amount. And that's why we wanted to point it out that these places, like these old music venues, they need your support. Like they need you to visit them, because that's the most important thing. If you want to save a small business, you have to be a customer, or at least support it in some other fashion. And I want to point out that when Cornelia Street Cafe opened in 1977, its rent was $450 a month. And then in 2017, like right before they were forced to close in 2018, it had been raised to $33,000 a month. I mean, that's why it couldn't survive. That's the #1 reason why these small businesses don't survive, is that the rent gets raised to like an astronomical level, and they just, you know, they can't make the rent. And now with the coronavirus shutdown, it's become even more difficult, because imagine having that high a rent and then not even being able to be open. I mean, that's like, there's no way you can survive, you know, sadly. Jimmy, this is so sweet, the Cornelia Street Lending Library. During these difficult times, it's nice to be extra good. Oh, they say extra evilly, but of course I say extra good. Even can only accomplish this remotely, so please return and donate books and not just borrow them. Look, they have some good ones. That's so sweet. Extra good. On West 3rd Street by 6th Avenue was founded in 1981 by Benny Sansusan, and it became the premier jazz club in the city, and it's featured Dizzy Gillespie, Sarah Vaughan, Lionel Hampton, Oscar Peterson, and the Modern Jazz Quartet, among other regular performers. Ray Charles was booked for a full week every year at this club, and it has an excellent like Sunday jazz brunch at 12:30 and 2:30. Of course, when it's open. It's closed now because of the coronavirus. And numerous musicians have recorded live albums here at the Blue Note, including James Carter, Elvin Jones, Odeon Pope, and Arturo Sandoval. Extra good. What we love at the Blue Note is that the facade has this like overhanging grand piano, and it lights up like with neon at night. It looks extra good. In fact, we photographed it for our book New York Nights, and we'll insert the picture in the video so you can see it, because it doesn't do it justice looking at it during the daytime. It has to be seen at night. Wa on MacDougal Street, the corner of Minetta Lane, was founded by Manny Roth in 1959 and became a legendary music venue and performance space. And a lot of musicians got their start here, including Bruce Springsteen and of course Bob Dylan, which we did a whole video on all the music spots and other places associated with Bob Dylan, so be sure to watch that too. We'll put the link above. And also other musicians, including Jimi Hendrix, which we can't forget, like we've even got his likeness back there. So it's a really great space. We wish we could go inside and show it to you, but of course they're closed now due to the coronavirus shutdown, but it's extra good. Other legendary performers at Cafe Wa include the Velvet Underground, Kool and the Gang, and Peter, Paul, and Mary. And on Monday nights, they continue to showcase new talent, so it's extra good. The last stop on our tour today is Washington Square Park in Greenwich Village, where many legendary musicians would play here and hang out, including Pete Seeger and Bob Dylan and Dave Von Ronk. And still today it attracts a lot of musicians, and it's just a beautiful place to spend the afternoon. Thanks so much for watching, and we hope you enjoyed our video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it if you enjoyed it. Consider supporting our channel so we can continue highlighting unique places in and around New York City, either through donation through PayPal or through our Patreon account. And I also want to point out what I'm wearing today. I've got, because it's a music themed Greenwich Village video, I got my musical mask made by a friend, and also this bracelet, what I'm wearing, this wave silver bracelet, which was also made by a friend, Lena Noel, and I'll put a link to her website because she makes beautiful silver jewelry. And all artists need your support now because it's been difficult for everyone. Okay, thanks for watching, guys, and bye and be safe.